Hello everyone and welcome to Movies in a Nutshell, where we talk about movies in a quick way so you can get on with your day. I'm your amazing, spectacular host, Detective Artemis, and before we go on, you hit that thumbs up button, because I know it, you know it, Puss in Boots knows it. What the fuck? Oh god! That's right, bitches! I'm back! Based off the 1981 stage musical of the same name by Andrew Lloyd Webber, which in turn was based off the 1939 poetry collection Old Possums' Book of Practical Cats by TS Elliott, comes a story of placement, redemption, and Rebel Wilson. Oh god, make it stop. There was also a 1998 live-action Cats movie, but it was basically just a Broadway show with some cameras. This one though was the first big budget movie, and coming off the award-winning snoozefest, Les Mis, Tom Hooper was set to direct, so fans of the musical were getting excited, until the trailer dropped. And the movie was basically dead on arrival, and everyone hated it. But was it really that bad? Cats is about a cat named Victoria who gets dumped in the streets of London by her old owners. Oh my god, look at these things. Ha! I mean, they look terrifying and funny all at once. She then gets welcomed by a group of tomcats who are part of a tribe called the Jellicles. Take a drink every time they say that word. Jellicles, 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 Jellicles. Hey, you're drunk, not me. They show her around and talk about their Jellicle Ball, where the cats compete for the chance to go to the Heaviside Layer, to be granted a new life. Watching this is like getting kicked in the Jellicles. Throughout the movie, we are introduced to other cat competitors who explain their contributions to the community. What were they exactly? I don't know. The Roach people were way too distracting for me to pay attention to. Maybe they can have their own spin-off. What the? Ian McKellen? What are you doing here? During these introductions, we meet the villain, McCavity, played by the awesome Idris Elba, who after the movie probably fired his agent. McCavity can also apparate and disapparate. I like him. He also kidnaps the other competitors so he can be chosen for the new life by default. I like him. Victoria then meets a pair of twin cats named... I don't fucking remember. Something stupid, I imagine. Victoria gets trapped, but then the awesome magician cat from earlier, Mr. Mistopheles, saves her. I like him. We then meet the matriarch of the tribe, old Doo-Doo Head? Whatever, it's goddamn Judi Dench from James Bond. They go inside and we get an overly long ballet number. Victoria sees Grisabella, played by Jennifer Hudson, who we learn that she was banished from the tribe because of her affiliations with McCavity. Here we see Victoria empathize with Grisabella as they both share feelings of abandonment. We finally get to the ball, and after some more creepy dancing, it gets interrupted by Taylor Swift. As she's distracting them with her song, she uses catnip to incapacitate them. You cheeky kitty. Then McCavity shows up and demands to be chosen, but Judi Dench is all like, nah fam, you're not worthy. So he kidnaps her too. When the others come to, old mono-faced Victoria tells Mr. Mistopheles to use his magic to bring her back. Then Victoria tells him that if he does it, she'll let him smash. I mean, I'm assuming of course. But it works, and the cats rejoice. Back to the other kidnapped cats who everyone seemed to forget about. Rebel Wilson escapes by unzipping her costume? Why didn't she just do that in the first place? Well, they are free and McCavity bails on his lackey who walks the plank to shark-infested waters. I'm assuming of course. Grisabella shows up to the Egyptian theater and Victoria vouches for her to be the chosen one. She sings a pretty decent song and Judi Dench agrees with Victoria. So Mr. Mistopheles uses his magic and makes a hot air balloon thing for Grisabella. McCavity makes one last attempt but fails and falls to his death. Just kidding, but imagine fool. Judi Dench welcomes Victoria to the tribe and Grisabella fucks off somewhere in the clouds where I assume it gets shot down and she plummets to her death. And that's Cats. This movie was hard to sit through, mainly because the visuals were just too weird and awkward. You can't look at them without wanting to laugh. I mean, didn't they learn that from the last live-action cat person they did? 2 days before this movie premiered in theaters, Universal announced they're going to fix the CGI to make it look better. 2 days before the movie premiered. Maybe it was the version with their cat buttholes visible. Look it up. Forget the Snyder cut, release the butthole cut. Needless to say, this movie tanked hard, and with the new CGI fixes, it tanked even harder, costing the studio over $110 million. Maybe this idea should have been euthanized. There weren't any real characters to root for except Grisabella, who barely had any screen time. The songs were overly long and made the movie drag for an eternity. From a technical standpoint, I appreciate all the work done from makeup and the dance numbers, because I'm sure that took weeks of rehearsal. Hell, even the animators worked grueling hours to make the deadline, and I feel bad for them, but unfortunately, a bad movie is still a bad movie, and it wasn't their fault. it is possible to make a decent movie adapted from a musical. I mean, look at Grease or Les Mis. Originally in the 90s, this movie was going to be animated, but scrapped when Ambulation got shut down. That would have been the best way for this material to be approached for a general audience, and it would have been a lot easier to sit through. Instead, we got a furry fantasy wet dream. So as always, I'll be back soon with another movie, or if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this wonderful channel. I am the gentleman, I observe the world, so we can all laugh at it. Bye bye.
Jellicles, 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 jellicles.
Ain't nothing wrong bringing the old me back. The mama know her body so trophy glass. She worked.